Okay. Hello, if you're watching the recording, and welcome to another Second Empire animation session. I'm going to try and get episode 12 done today. Probably won't happen, but I'll get as much done as I can. I currently have 15 shots left to do. Just recorded the last bit of dialogue, somehow I missed it. So, yeah. Just, tweet that. And I think if I get the error, bad keyframes or bad video settings, I can actually change that on the fly now. And sorry about the slamming door, but yeah. Okay. So basically got these 4 pages to do. Still got a couple of shots to finish, but I want to have the whole episode so I can actually see if anything needs cutting or increasing, because at the minute it's not that long of an episode. So I'm doing this shot. Thank you, Joel. Okay, slamming door, you're going to have to be closed. So I've got to keep them. You don't have to keep quiet, you know, you're having a day or whatever. Right. You might be able to hear neighbours and all that talking, but can't really do anything about that because it is warm today. And there's a train. Let's give that a second delay. No, that's it. Bring that down to 0. Turn the sound on. Okay, so that's interchange when the guns start and stop firing. Hello, Mr. Prime. So I can start at 50 and end at 200, which will be off screen. This is a combat engineer inside a anti-aircraft mobile turret. There are several different versions of them. So you can see the Dalek inside it. It's meant to be a if you're familiar with the movie Aliens, there's a scene in that with something called a power loader, which is basically like a big forklift that people drive. But in that they use their legs, but obviously Daleks don't have legs. There's one with a digger on it, which I'm waiting for from Mechmaster, and there's various weapon attachments you can get from. Oops. Oh, really? You're not doing... Devon, the time controller is a cool thing, but as I said before, these Daleks don't really have an established time travel facility. In fact, they have a treaty with the Time Lords to basically... Why are you doing that? These should be aligned, but they are not. Why are they not? Yeah, the whole reason the Time War didn't happen between the Time Lords and the Daleks in Second Empire is because they actually have a treaty. Which might sound a little bit silly, but both sides recognised that they would basically destroy each other. And no one wants that. So is that inside? There are many different variants of the heavy weapons Dalek. You've got the standard special weapons Dalek, which is just the Dalek with a gun turret. You've got the heavy weapons Dalek, which is a bigger version of the gun turret, which the Renegades have. You've got the rotary weapons Dalek, which is a Gatling gun. Storm is technically classed as a heavy assault Dalek, not a heavy weapons, which is basically just a Dalek bristling with weapons. Okay, what the hell is going on with this bloody gun? I'm having trouble with these emitters over here. These are the things that it's starting to annoy me. Even that's not lined up. Ah. That didn't happen in this universe. The Doctor is very, very different. Well, during the time of Second Empire, he's long dead. Killed by the Silver Emperor. And he's used in Time Lord society as almost a legend. They're rapid fire. They can switch between different modes though. Just trying to line these things up. Where's the... where are you? There you are. Snap. Enable snap. Yeah, I know you were, but slide. Eventually the Daleks and Time Lords, they're not really on speaking terms, but they're both eager to prevent any kind of like temporal war. So if there's another faction of either Time Lords or Daleks trying to start a war, they will not really work together, but they'll do their best to stop it. There will be some new Dalek ships, not in the series, but in other adventures. The Time Lords do actually share some technology with the Daleks, but it's just with Utrell, and that's kind of like an exclusive deal, because Utrell helped save one of their members. Right, I think that's fixed. Nope, it's not. Why? Oh, so you're why are you moving? Because you're not in the control pod, you're in the arm itself. Hey, fixed it. That was 10 minutes of work I didn't need to do. We don't know. The records of the Doctor are locked. When the Golden Emperor took over, he basically sealed most of the Golden Emperor's records, mainly because it contained evidence that he was responsible for the Silver Emperor's death. We haven't decided that yet. We do have other Time Lord characters. We have a neutral Time Lord called Erin, who is a zoologist, and she's only interested in animal life forms. That mothership. Now let me think. Was the doctor said how many Daleks were on board? I think he said there's like 500,000 in the fleet, 200 ships, about 500 on each ship. Is that right? Let's me work that out. 500 times 200. That's only 100,000. I can show you the Golden Emperor's flagship if you want. That ship is huge. Yeah, it's about a mile. Star Destroyer is about a mile long. I am actually going to be bringing in Star Destroyer-like ships into Second Empire, but they won't be shown in this series because the way they're used is not really relevant. They're actually part of the space fleet. I don't do crossovers. It just creates too many problems. Crossovers are fine for like fun comics or fan films, but I'm no interested in them. It's just something I've never been interested in. I did consider doing a short where the series Daleks come and meet these Daleks, but it'd just be a shouting match. Because the Second Empire Daleks would be okay with getting along with them, but the series Dalek wouldn't recognise them as Daleks. So it'd just be another shootout. Oh, it's definitely not bigger than a Star Destroyer. The Second Empire ships aren't actually that big. Paradigm Daleks are in it, but they're not actually active. Okay then, where are you? I have the Okay, I do have the ship, but I don't know where it is. Ah, here we are. I just hadn't saved it into the set folders. So this is the exterminator. If I bring a Dalek in, bring a third army Dalek in. Excuse me a minute, sir. Okay, it's not that big. Okay, so this is the size of a Dalek. These spikes on the sides are, I believe, let's have a look. These ones, the thin ones, are communication and sensor antennas, and these ones are power regulators for the main gun. Basically, this ship kind of extends and does this, so the whole ship opens up and is essentially one giant weapons platform. Sends a beam down to its intended target. Main gun is in the belly here. They use the gravity lens, or do they? I might be making that up. Let me have a look. Yeah, they fire a beam through the gravity lens, which, if done incorrectly, can shatter the gravity lens and basically ruin the ship. Yeah, it's going to be fun to show these guys fighting humans, because everyone seems to think they're like cutesy, laughing, joking Daleks. But when I get human models working, I want to show how devastating they... What? What are you doing there? They literally show no mercy. they can be jokey and non-serious with each other, but as soon as they are in a fight against humans or any other life form. Daleks not so much, because it's not every day you fight a Dalek as a Dalek. Although lately it seems like it's all they do. The Renegades wouldn't really be bothered about. They'd side with the Imperials because they see that the Imperials are the stronger side. And plus, the Second Empire Dalek could easily defeat a new series Dalek. Wouldn't even need to use its weapon. Sorry, Mr. Prime, what? Weak spot? Who are just machines? Thank you, Mr. Brown. Devon, I don't really know what you're talking about. Who are just machines? No Daleks are just machines. They all have mutants inside. but the first Empire Daleks are more Dalek-like because they're more obedient, and the fact that the Second Empire Daleks have rebelled makes them seem like the bad guys. The Imperials are more machine-like, but they still have the mutant inside. They just don't have as much free will. And nowhere near the free will that the Cult of Skaro has. Hey, I mentioned the Cult of Skaro once a stream. Yeah, I remember that. I voiced it. When Xenon said he was turning them into a race of machines, he didn't mean it literally. He just meant that the Daleks are so dependent upon their conditioning and their support machines that they're no better than. They didn't say they'd replace them. Utrell said that eventually they won't need a mutant inside, simply because there's so much computer control in there. Like any action the Dalek has is monitored by the onboard computer. So say for example you've got two Daleks, got an Imperial and a Renegade. They're just simply told to go down a corridor, and there's a box in the way or something. Imperial will go down and it'll analyse every option. Like, I could go left, I could go right, I could go up, I could go down. But then the computer would say, no, we'll go the most efficient way possible, so it will suggest that. Whereas the Renegade will just fly down the corridor at maximum speed, probably jump over the box and get there before the Imperials even started. Because the Imperials are too busy analysing everything that the Renegades have gut reactions. Oh, he's off in space having an adventure. Oh, damn it. And you're having a sneak peek at a video I'm putting together of assembling a Dalek kit. The new series Daleks are just as conditioned as the Imperials. If you remember, the Cult of Skaro were destroyed by their own members because Sek went too far, according to them. They were still Daleks at the end of the day. Sek was the only really true free Dalek in the series. The Cult of Skaro in the Second Empire universe is totally different. They are not conditioned at all. They were created by the Emperor, by the Silver Emperor, to basically act as not a purity police, but anything that happened that was unusual in the Empire, they would investigate. They would not bother the general Dalek population. If Daleks started acting strangely, they would investigate. Yeah, they did that. That's what Sek says. But as soon as they try something new, which would have worked, I'll answer your question in a minute, Mr. Prime. The comic is on Mechmaster's website, Deviant Art, and Project Dalek. The Cult of Skaro in the series when they tried something new, they trying to get my thoughts together. The others turned on him because they saw him as soon as he went from Dalek to humanoid, he wasn't a Dalek to them, even though he had Dalek DNA. And he started to act un-Dalek-like because of the emotions he got from the host. What was his name? Diagoras, I think his name was. Like when he stopped the Dalek from killing the Doctor. But yeah. Mr. Pitbull, what was your question? And just quickly, Stephen Woolley, I might have had the Doctor. The Doctor exists in Second Empire, but won't appear in person. Tornado Pitbull, doesn't a rock fall on general shit? Well, if you drop it on a pile of poop, then yeah. Mr. Prime, the Cult of Skaro will appear in the series. I could even show you their models. Right, then that's everything covered. Oops. Could I post a link in the chat? Of course. Here you go, here is MechMaster's website. And while you're there, take a look on his other, because he's got other Dalek stuff as well, which is kind of cool. The Supreme Daleks, you mean? Oh, I almost said Sixth Danger. Brown, Galt, and Garin. Yes, we will. Right, next one. Yeah, the Cult of Skaro in the Second Empire series are kind of like the FBI. I haven't touched that. I haven't touched the TARDIS model in a long time, because I just haven't. Well, I don't really need it at the minute, to be honest. It's something I work on every once in a while. What am I looking for? Isk Daleks. Episode 12, Hoverbats. Number 2, I think. Okay, thank you, Mr. Prime. Okay, Aiden. Devon, I guess, if you really want to. TARDIS. Okay, so went back and was trying, basically making a classic TARDIS to start off with, and then they're gonna modify it. So that's the main doors, which I think, yep, I got to open. This actually took a lot longer than I thought it would because I was using the TARDIS Builder's plans, and everything is, you'd think this would be a mirror image, but everything is ever so slightly different, and yeah, it was a pain. And then this is just the console sort of space that I've got going on. What I'm planning to do is have the walls be like classic, and then like put modern day things in it. Like there'll be big monitors that maybe either pop down or are hanging down. The console will be very Star Trek-y. It'll be like touchscreen, but there'll also be physical controls as well. And there'll be like computer access terminals and stuff. What I'm thinking, a change I'm thinking about doing is not making the console room the first room you come into in the TARDIS. I know that sounds a bit controversial change, but my reasoning is, I was watching, which one was it? Attack of the Cybermen the other day. And basically if you've not seen it, there's a scene where the Doctor and his companions get back into the TARDIS, and they are, before they can close the doors, the Cybermen get in. Now that wouldn't have happened if they'd had to come in through another door. So it's just more security. And there have been instances where people have been sucked out into space when they're in the console room. Wasn't anyone important, but yeah, I'll get back to that at one point. I can show you the TARDIS console if you want. Don't think that's in this folder. Where are you? I think you're in this one. So the old Cinema 4D folder. Trooper models. Half of this stuff is from when I first started doing 3D. I thought I could do everything. Is that it? No. Wow, that's a bad one. Dr. TARDIS. No. That's one console I had in mind. Might still use that actually. That I was trying to go with the movie sort of style. I was going to put some like rivets and stuff in it, but you'd end up banging your head when you were trying to work on the console. Okay, see you later, Pitbull. Aiden, sorry. Console. When did I make this? Oh, that I was trying to go for a military TARDIS. But, oh, I even got some controls in. Huh. It's funny when you forget things that you're working on. Anyway, speaking of forgetting things that I'm working on. Okay. Sure. I think I'm still subscribed to Mindrobber. Okay, so when I type in Mindrobber, it doesn't come up with the channel that I thought it would. So we'll go to Google. And what did you say to look up? The TARDIS interior control room design. Ah, yes. That's where I got the idea from. Yeah, 2010, yeah. Actually, I'll show you where I was inspired most with my console design. So let me just drag over this. It wasn't here, it was... So this is the very first like 3D artwork I followed. His name's Rob's something. There's Rob's 3D Doctor Who. And he, in 2015, he redesigned... Oh no, it wasn't in... Was it? Yeah, this is my main inspiration. Let me just find... But it wasn't that. That one's this new one. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, this is the first 3D modeler that I really started to follow, and was like, wow, I've got to get into this. I can make all this amazing stuff, and then realised how hard it actually was. See, this is the console that I was inspired by, because I just love the whole mixing of touchscreens and buttons and stuff, and it still looks classic. Right, the new crap. I don't think he's got this image on anymore. He hasn't updated this website in a long time. But, I mean, if you look at this, I love this. This is so cool. But it's kind of, it's tricky when you're doing images based off other images. You've got to like make it your own and still retain what you like about it, but not make it a complete rip-off, which is something I hate doing, especially when writing. Which is why when I see a film in a movie and I really want to use it, I have to make it different enough that people won't see it as a complete rip-off. Okay. I've seen what you're talking about. I've seen the TARDIS design you're on about, and yeah, I wasn't directly inspired by that, but I think there are some. I wasn't going to go for that amount of touchscreen. In all, the touchscreen is it's nice, but it's actually, you know, it's something that I could see the new series doing, because all they'd need to do is cover the TARDIS in green screen, the control panels, and it's a very lazy way of doing things, but instead they chose to go with a very physical. Although I guess with the physical controls you only need to build it once, whereas every time you add it into a shot, you'd have to pay an extortionate amount. So in actual fact, the physical controls are the lazy option. I think in terms of console rooms of the new series, the current one is the best, simply because it's not all over the place. It's very it looks like an actual machine, not something like a bad desktop. How is this going to work? Okay, that needs to change. The new series Daleks would have to listen to the Cult of Skaro in your series, because they are not like... Unfortunately, the Cult of Skaro have fallen on hard times at this time in the story. They're in hiding at the minute, actually. At this very moment in the story, they're considered to be dead. But they're not. Does that make the Dalek look silly for... I mean, it's meant to hit. Oh, I think it hit. Did it hit? Was it a palpable hit? Just missed. Okay. I don't know what to do with that. Yes. Death to the trade. Why that? No, does it actually hit? The new series Daleks will not be appearing in Second Empire. Sorry, but they won't. Did I just mess that up? No, I didn't. Good. I'm kind of rushing these shots a little bit because I want to get at least all the timing done. Still effects works to do and all that. If they did, as a theory, the Second Empire Daleks would see the new series Daleks as no better than the First Empire Daleks. And you should be flying way before that. Yeah, they would not get along. Second Empire Daleks would try, but the new series, they're not that flexible. They just shoot first and maybe consider alternatives later. My thoughts exactly, Phil, if you're still listening. Blimey, been going for an hour already, and I've got 2 shots done. Should have redone that. The reason I should have redone that is because no, wrong, idiot, stupid. That wouldn't be this stream, no. No way, if it's taken me an hour to do these 2 shots. And I'll never do modelling modelling streams because they are mind-numbingly boring. It's alright, modelling, well, trust me, you don't want to watch that, especially with my skill. Alright, let's run that again. Creaky chair is creaky. I mean, I could watch people modelling all day, but I'm sure others would be like, oh, this is so boring. And that looks like a lot of weapons fire, and it is. But it's an anti-aircraft laser. And he said, eat photon death traitors. Okay, let's add that to the mix. What's the running time at? Oh, only 11 minutes. Damn. Might get that up to 15. I wanted to go back to the classic TARDIS because it's simple but it's effective. Right, next one. Well, this one's going to be an easy one, he says. Okay, save that. Okay, get rid of the ACAC of about carrier. Don't need any of that. Let's move this over here. I need to be facing the lie-wrapping plant, which is face to face with an Imperial battle saucer. Lie-wrapping plant, where are you? No. Did I make you... No, I didn't make you disappear. Oh, there you are. How did I not see that? Huh. This week on Dark Raven's stream, he misses the blindingly obvious and then chokes over his own words. Okay, so we need you. Yeah, the time rotor on the Capaldi TARDIS is a bit involved. It reminds me of like a magical thing, like, well, what adventure are we going on today, children? I guess that's what Doctor Who has become, a kiddie show. Kind of annoying because it wasn't meant to be that. Well, it was meant to teach, but not to be condescending to children. It's like, oh, you can do anything with magic as long as you have heart and human determination. Wrong. Human determination and spirit cannot overcome the conversion processes on a Cyberman. It's in your brain. I thought you were going to say, I hope the 13th Doctor is going to be a woman then. Huh, that's a good way to start an argument. I'm not saying there can't be female Time Lords, but the idea that the males can regenerate into females and vice versa is ridiculous. But we want a decent female Time Lord. Then get Romana or the Rani back. But it has to be the Doctor, and it has to be light, and then she can be chased by other boys. No. Doctor Who has never been about that until the new series. But the Doctor has to have a love interest. No, he does not. Stephen, put down the crayons. We don't want you writing any more scripts. Ah. That's what I imagine the new series scripts are like. Alright then, Stephen, what you got today? Well, the Doctor could have a magical fairy unicorn thing, and he could cure everything. Okay, and where's the story in that? I want ice cream. I've just got the image of Stephen Moffat with one of those helicopter hats. You are firing your guns, and you shouldn't be, so stop. Oh, I think a couple of people were Stephen Moffat fans, because they've suddenly stopped watching. Ha! The reason that hang on. Well, okay. See, I'm looking forward to the new guy taking over, because he's just done Broadchurch, which is a realistic drama. But if you're talking about why some of the Cybermen had human faces, if you look at the two main examples, was Pinky Boy, the soldier that was pegged to be an awesome companion but then was killed off for no reason. We could guess that maybe the conversion process wasn't complete on him, and his love for Clara, or whatever the hell it is, kind of kept that part of him, in there, so he could talk to her and see her. And with Bill's case, the Mondasian Cybermen weren't that far advanced. It wasn't until, I think, even the 1980s Cybermen still had human faces under the masks, because there's that bit where the Doctor takes the faceplate off, and we've got that figure with like the skull inside. It wasn't until the 2005 Cybermen that we saw them cut everything out, which is good for a full conversion, but for a gradual one, I like the whole gradual assimilation. I'm a Borg fan as well. Yes, but you cannot deny the power of the human spirit and soul. We shall all hold hands and defeat the bad guys together. Wait a minute, they actually did that once, didn't they? I think when they were yelling for the Doctor. Oh, it was the Master final. Christ. Doctor. I don't go out of my way to hate the new series. It just made Doctor Who great again. Yeah. It just, I don't respect it in terms of writing. I look at the characters and think, why should I care? The new series seems more about the companions than it is about the Doctor. Especially with Rose. It's like, oh, look at me, I'm so special, yeah. I thought Bill was going to be the first one that didn't have, well, apart from Martha, she didn't have anything really special. By special, I mean like you got Rose with her time, space, bad wolf thing. But, and then you had Martha with her walking, I guess you could say, you know, when she told her story. And you had Donna with her Dr. Donna thing. Clara with the invincibility thing, like she's always going to be around because she's special. And then Bill with the ghost mum. You don't need to give your companions gimmicks. I'm not letting that go. That's the way this new series started. I was like, what the hell is going on? Who is this? Why should I care? People are still going on about Jar Jar. I can still go on about Rose. And there's 6 years between the two. Yeah, Specialist in there in the corner dribbling. We need a decent male companion like Jamie. Although the Missy Master thing did make a good point that if they ever did fall for their companions or whatever, it's like cradle snatching because they're like 900 and these companions are barely in their 30s. I don't think that's a route you want to go down. Did I put that? No, I did not. Can I type in Darth Vader laughs 3 times on YouTube? Why? Is that going to be one of those things that all of a sudden jumps out a scary person? Or worse, a clown? Alright. I can't put the sound on. I'm not going to repeat what my friend Phil just said. Right. Okay. So you want me to type in Darth Vader laughs 3 times. Okay, if this is censorable, then I knew I'd be it. What you want? Oh, 3 times. Is this the one? Big, that one? The top one? I'm gonna show the video. Is it the top one? Okay. Okay, that was kind of funny. I was just, I was waiting for him to get to the point where Anakin turned up and he's like, "Whoa!" Where the hell? What the hell was I doing? Okay. Okay, this is going to be a tricky one because in this one I've got to have him fire some missiles, which I'll do in After Effects, and then have an explosion. Not impossible, but yeah, I've seen a load of those videos where they explain. Are those the ones where they explain like why they stopped using clone troopers? What happened to this character? You know, the origins of this. Some of them are quite fun, but some of them get into very nerdy territory that it's like, okay. Hello, Captionair. I like your thumbnail. No, not right now. I'm kind of getting into the groove here. Well, yeah. Sorry. Apparently, I never get notifications when people I subscribe to get start streaming. It normally just appears on the timeline. I don't know if there's something I have to enable, or I mean, I do post on Twitter or on the Facebook group if you are subscribed to either of them. Right, and hello, Graham. Let's have the camera actually in the hover map, because then you can do this. You can do. I'm working on the last few shots for episode 12. This page here, I'm up to this one here. I've been going for about an hour and a half. I'll note that down and have a look later, Devon. Right. Oh. Maybe that was a bad idea. Yes, it was. Thank you. Computer's getting jerky. No, I've pretty much decided what I'm going to do with the Sandy Dalek problem. I just need to actually get around and do it. MechMaster agreed about the solution, saying that particle simulation... What the... Oh. Particle simulation would be too problematic, especially for just one shot. And since there's no other shots in the series like it, developing a whole new way of doing things wouldn't be advisable. He did say that he wouldn't have a problem with me changing the shot completely, and I said no to that. Because while I do change some things, I try and keep it as much to the comic as possible.
Torpedoes running.
That's all I'm hearing at the minute.
Target exterminated.
You can hear that? Oh, it's probably because it's my mic's picking it up. Talk speedos running. Didn't actually realise it was that loud. Sorry if that's annoying you, but alright, that's that one done. Sort of. Things to add into this one are a couple of explosions, vapor trails, and I think that's it. When Daleks are actually injured and they're recovering, they do spend time in a water tank. They don't run, and they actually, it's just a way for them to like relax before they're cooped back up into their travel machine. It's not like a pool with diving boards and stuff. They're just literally just bobbing around. Some have to be like rehabilitated if they've had bad injuries. They and some are just like in almost. Do you know what the back to tanks are in Star Wars? They're in things like that. Who should get a notification now? Wait, which one was that? Is that number 4? So there'll be an explosion about here, and it's a very quiet panel actually. So that's that page done. and it's getting far too warm here. So I'm going to cut the stream here, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I would have gone on for longer, but my room's getting quite stuffy at the minute. I need to go out and get some air. Again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.